Back to the chart where we have our reds on the top. On the bottom part of my chart are green boxes. These green boxes are modifiers. They're going to modify different parts of the sentence. But here's the reason why they're green. They're green for two reasons. One, green light go, does this information need to go into our sentence? Do we need it? Because you don't need to always add a when, where, why, or how information to your sentence. You're only adding this information if it's important to your sentence. So after we go back and we say, the hungry monkey ate a banana, then we're going to ask, do we need to know when this was happening? Sure, it was happening in the morning. Okay, so now we have the hungry monkey ate a banana, so we have our who and what. The hungry monkey ate a banana in the morning. Now let's ask our where. Does our reader need to know where they were doing this? Sure, it was happening in the jungle. Let's go back. The hungry monkey ate a banana in the morning in the jungle. Now do we need to ask why? Well, notice we have the words because, so, for, and to. They don't always begin a why phrase. They're wonderful words to help children start off their why phrase. We'll say, why did the monkey eat a banana early in the morning in the jungle? Let's use the word to fill his belly. Do we need to show how he ate that banana? Quickly. He ate that banana quickly. I love it. Go back because the green light means green light go, move this information, move the green boxes in the sentence. So now we're going to go back and say, let's use our when and where, and let's green light go, move them to the beginning of our sentence. So we have early in the morning, in the jungle, the hungry monkey ate a banana. Ooh, quickly ate a banana to fill his belly. We're moving around the green boxes so they make sense. Again, you don't always need the green boxes. You're always asking, is this information important for my reader to know? And after you add that information, and then you go and you read the sentence, moving the phrases to the different parts of the sentence until you think it sounds the best. This is how we're going to use our who what chart. Let me show you a couple of places you can use it in small group writing and also in our whole group writing lessons. So now let's use page 212 to take some notes. If I was working with a student in small group, and let's say that student on their sheet of paper drew a picture of themselves kicking a ball, a soccer ball, and they're drawing their picture and they have all of their details in there, and now they need to make a sentence. What can I do? I can show my who what chart. That's why I like to have it posted in many different places in the room. During my small group writing, I like to have it posted right behind me so I can point to it as I'm modeling to students how in their brain they need to take the picture and turn it into a sentence. So in this picture, I would be pointing to the subject, and that would be the student. And I would say, who or what is this story picture about? And they would say, me. And then I would say, okay, so over here we're looking at our who or what. And I would say, now when you're writing, because you're talking about yourself and you're so important, you're going to say I. What are you going to say? I. So when you're writing about yourself, what word will you use? I. Go ahead and say your sentence so far. I. We're going to look at action. We're going to look at what about you? What are you doing in your picture? I am kicking the ball. Say it again. I am kicking the ball. Now, that may be all that we need for the student to do at that point. Let's say I have a more advanced student who can add more. Then we could have added the when, where, a why, if necessary. But we could just simply have I am kicking the ball. Let's go back and let's look at another story picture that students could do. What if they were drawing a picture about information. And they were drawing a plant growing out of the ground. And they were learning all about plants. I would ask them, who or what is this information about? A plant. What about a plant? What information are you telling me about a plant? A plant needs water to grow. Ooh, so make sure you have your water up there. Say it again. A plant needs water to grow. And then they would write their sentence. So now we have at a very simple level, when it's a story, who or what is doing the action in the picture? What about that person? I am kicking a ball. What is that person doing? I am kicking a ball. When we have information, who or what is the information about? A plant. What about a plant? What information are you telling about a plant? A plant needs water to grow. So now we have it not only tailored for a complete sentence, but what you can add when you're writing a story sentence or when you're writing an information sentence. This also goes for when we had our writing lessons where the students had long sheets of paper where they were forming one sentence after another. So let's say that the students were writing about a little mouse. And the mouse was running around the field in the beginning of the story. So we were forming that first sentence. Who or what is this story sentence about? A mouse. What's the mouse doing? Action. What's the mouse doing? The mouse is running around the field. Now we're going to go to the next box and they draw a picture. They're going to figure out, well, what happened next after the mouse was running around the field? Oh, maybe he went into a hole. Now they need to form their sentence because they're drawing their picture for meaning, but how do they come up with a sentence? We go back to the who-what chart. Who or what's doing the action? The mouse. What's another way to say mouse? He. What did he do? What about the mouse? What did the mouse do? He jumped into the hole. We have our mouse ran across the field. Then we have he jumped into a hole. Every time we draw a new picture, we can go back and ask, who's doing the action? What are they doing? What did they do? After we have, what did they do? Then the student is going to give us that action and then put it together to create a sentence. So the who-what chart is vital. All throughout writing, you're constantly asking yourself, who or what is this sentence about and what about it? If it's a narrative, you're always saying who or what is doing the action and what about whatever is doing the action. The mouse, what about the mouse? What did the mouse do? And then they have their action part of their sentence. If it's a information sentence, then we're looking at the information and we're asking who or what is the information about and what about the information so that we can come up with our information sentence. So, who or what is the information about? A seed. What about a seed? A seed grows into a plant. We have those information sentences and story sentences. Let's add one more thing you can use the who-what chart for. Let's say that I'm brainstorming with students after we had just finished a plant unit and they're telling me everything they know about plants that they've learned. So they start telling me that plants start as seeds and they have roots, and I start putting information up on the board in the right categories. So they have a seed, they have roots, and maybe somebody says, oh, they need water. Oh, that goes in another category. I'm going to put water over here. And then someone says, oh, they need soil. That goes over here. And now I start sorting information because what do students do when they learn a lot of information? They tend to tell you details. So when you're brainstorming to write, you want to start where they begin by just sorting their details, organizing it in the correct categories. So we have seeds, we have roots. Oh, they have a stem. And then we have our stem. Ooh, they have leaves. So I write leaves. And then what else? Oh, they need minerals. So let me put some dots for minerals. So we go through and I start just putting those details down. Next, I can put a box up above and say, boys and girls, let's come up with our big idea. Let's use our who what chart. Who or what is all this information about that we've been organizing on our paper? Plants. Oh, okay. So I'm going to draw a tree here for plants. So this ends up being my subject box. Then I'm going to say, what about plants? What is all this information that we're learning about plants? When we say plants need water, they need soil, they need minerals, what is this information about? Now they need to take these details and generalize for the big idea. So sometimes students have a tough time with that, so I just tell them, is this all the things a plant needs to survive? Or is this how a plant looks so that it can stand up? Which one makes more sense about it needs water, it needs soil and minerals? Oh, things they need in order to survive. So I'm going to write the word need here. We have our big idea sentence. So look what we're doing. We can use the who what chart to help students come up with those big ideas, the topic sentences. Plants need many things to grow. And then below here, they have their details. Now watch how else you can use this who what chart. Let's say that you say to them, what do they need? They need water. So they need water. Should we add why or how they use the water? So look what I'm doing. I'm using the bottom of the who what chart to help expand on my detail sentences. They need water. Well, I'll tell you why they need water. Let's start with the word so they don't dry up. Ooh, I'm going to put the word so there and dry. They need water so they won't dry up. Let's go to the next one, soil. Why do they need soil, or how do they use soil? They use soil. Ooh, let's tell how they use soil. They use soil so they can anchor their roots to the ground. Notice I'm using the why or how phrases to help the students expand on those details if we're ready to do that. So the who what chart can be used for so many different reasons. Before I go on to the next section of this sentences chapter, let's just review all the pages that deal with the who what chart. On page 214, you have the who what chart, where you'll see the adjectives box, you'll see the predicate box, and all the modifiers. The preceding page showed the flap, the noun box. On page 215 is information for you to read about the who what chart. So you could go back to this and read more about how to use the who what chart and all the different parts. Now we're going to move on to the student worksheets so that you can eventually have students practice writing complete sentences using these different worksheets that I'm going to show you.